Myrick. He is a artist who is out there. He's done work for the Major 2 and also Image. He had some of his art on display, which we have up on the Facebook page, / Outright Geeks. But there's some pictures of him on there with some of his art sitting out on the table. And one of them with Cat Photobombing, who unfortunately cannot be here today.
Yeah, where's she?
She didn't give me where she was. She said she was busy.
I understand
so
that.
I didn't.
She's
I didn't cry.
it's her busy season with
the photography.
Yeah, she goes out. She takes a bunch of. She actually she's been getting some pretty big name people, and I'm not gonna throw out any names. I'll let her.
She's working on a project, she said, but she wouldn't tell me very much.
She didn't. I think she's keeping a little more hush hush. So I'm not gonna throw her under the bus, and maybe.
Didn't she say something about zombies though? Can we say that part?
I don't know. I don't want to compromise her.
I might have. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think that would do anything. But she's doing good work out there, and if you haven't seen any of her cosplays or anything like that, I think you should really check them out. And she did an amazing job on Free Comic Book Day this weekend.
She did. She did East of West.
She did Crow from East of West.
Crow East of West, and that is also pictures of her on the Facebook page.
Not the Crow, but Crow.
Yeah, not to be confused with Brandon Lee's version or J.O. Barr's version. No, it's the Crow from East of West.
Yes, it is. And May the 4th be with you.
The next day.
Was
the next day, yeah.
I mean, it was just an awesome weekend.
Geek weekend, it was.
To be a geek.
I mean, I get it. I'm not. It's funny, but I'm not laughing.
1979, that's been around, and we're still talking about it. So it's a pretty big deal.
It's the best.
You just made an outstanding argument to a point I wasn't making. What I'm saying is, I get it. I get it. I'm not laughing, but I get it. I mean,
okay.
I'm the same way with Super Bowls. What
but
are they?
The best.
I mean, it's a Sunday, and I don't watch it. It's cool. I understand.
Watch what?
Whatever you're talking about.
The Super Bowl.
I feel like you're not dialed in right now. Let's reset this whole thing.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah,
is
I get
a
it.
geek holiday, kind of like Free Comic Book Day.
Nope, that's not what I'm talking about at all.
Oh, what are you talking about? I'm sorry.
He's saying the pun.
The pun.
He gets the pun,
but
he doesn't appreciate
I wasn't
it
on
as
the,
much as somebody
on
like
the same page.
I might appreciate it.
Didn't mean to put you on your heels like that, Bob.
The next day, though, is Revenge of the 5th.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't like that one.
It's not. I mean,
I don't like that one as much.
I don't.
May the 4th be with you is pretty good.
I get it.
You can get it and not laugh.
I'm not.
I just get it and smile.
Oh,
I don't
promised,
get it and laugh.
Hold on, I
just
promised
just like it.
Erica that I would talk about this because we went into a Mexican restaurant for Cinco de Mayo, not planning on it in any way, shape, or form. But Cinco de Mayo made up by Americans.
Really?
Yeah. Found that out. I did not know that.
Piece of trivia.
Strange piece of trivia.
Cinco de Mayo, which Revenge of the 5th, if you want to call it. 24 restarted, and we need to talk about all these happenings in the TV universe. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break.
Okay.
And then get into Flicks time. So
fantastic. So we're talking about some Spider-Man finally?
We'll be talking about
Spider-Man.
We'll be talking about the Gotham trailer. We'll be talking about Arrow. Did you see S.H.I.E.L.D.? I haven't seen S.H.I.E.L.D.
The last episode I did.
Okay.
We can talk about that.
So you can throw out some S.H.I.E.L.D. action on us. And, Amazing Spider-Man.
All that and more.
Yeah, all that and whatever else we come up with last minute. So
randomness.
Anyways, you're listening to the Outright...
No, you did it wrong. But anyways,
you're listening to the Outright Geeks program in the OT Media studio in beautiful downtown Alton, Illinois, and we'll be back.
Fantasy Books and Games. It's right there in Fairview Heights next to the Dandy Inn at 1977 West Highway 50. They have a fantastic collection of comics, books, toys, and games. Grab your stash and come back for the show.
Thanks, Tony B. I'm headed over there right now to Fantasy Books and Games at 1977 West Highway 50.
Or call them at 618-624-20.
Do you want to look, feel, and perform better every single day? Whether you're at home, in the gym, or on the playing field, 180nutrition.org is your source for the best performance nutrition. 180nutrition.org is for everyone. My name is Clint Forsythe.
And I'm Lindsay.
Together we own 180nutrition.org.
Jumpstart your new year with an AdvoCare 24-day challenge before the new year starts.
180nutrition.org, your local and trusted AdvoCare independent distributors. 180nutrition.org. Use what the pros use. Get your AdvoCare 24-day challenge and visit 180nutrition.org right now.
Hey, BMAD, you busy this weekend?
I've got a date.
A date?
Yes, at Fantasy Books in Belleville, Illinois. I'm missing some comics for the show.
There's a Fantasy Books in Belleville?
Yes, there is. Fantasy Books Inc. is the original location. It's located at 1113 East Main Street in Belleville. They have comics, games, toys, and the largest collection of back issues.
That's awesome. I'm always looking for back issues. Where exactly is that again?
Fantasy Books Inc. is located at 1113 East Main Street in Belleville, and you can call them at 618-235-0844.
Hey, BMAD, can I borrow your wallet?
Why?
I need more comics.
Hey gang, Brant here. Smoke Clean Vapor Shop is the new official Illinois vapor shop of Under Further Review and is the premier location in Fairview Heights for all of your vaping needs. Smoke Clean has over 150 flavors in stock, with our house blends on par with nearly every premium brand. The customer service is excellent, the management team is superb, and the employees are extremely knowledgeable. Nobody beats our prices. We will make it right. Whether you are brand new to vaping or are an experienced user of authentic and clone mods, Smoke Clean is the clear choice for all your vaping needs. Yeah, that's right. I said authentic mods. Smoke Clean is located in Fairview Heights, Illinois at 5200 North Illinois Street, Suite 108, 62208. Call Smoke Clean right now at 618-27-SMOKE. Visit facebook.com/iSmokeClean. Smoke Clean, the official vapor shop of UFR. I smoke clean. Do you?
Hey, Brant, have you been down to the Pump House Bar and Grill in Wood River, Illinois lately?
Yes, Fred, I have. It's my favorite bar and grill in the Metro East.
I've been going there since their opening in February 2012. It quickly became my hometown bar.
I really enjoy their daily drink specials, including their signature little beers and their great menu.
Yeah, it's definitely not just bar food. Their brisket is to die for.
Don't forget about the free chicken chunks with the purchase of a drink every Tuesday, 4 to 7.
It's the weekend destination for a good time. Bands or karaoke every Friday and Saturday night, and football all day Sunday.
The staff and atmosphere are great too. It's like my own man cave with a waitress.
If you haven't checked out the Pump House Bar and Grill, visit their Facebook page, facebook.com/the Pump House Bar and Grill, or just stop in at 1523 East Edwardsville Road, Wood River, Illinois. Just 30 minutes from downtown St. Louis and just 2 minutes from Highway 255. And don't forget to say Under Further Review sent you.
If you're going to any other bar in the Metro East, punch in.
And we're back on Outright Geeks down in the beautiful
Alton, Illinois.
Just a hardback, huh? Just like that?
What?
That's how we come back now?
Yeah, we don't have any music.
Okay. I mean,
That's something that I was wanting to come in early to
no, we're good. I guess
rectify.
the internet must be broke or something.
Yeah,
So-
I have no idea.
Right.
I don't know how the internet. Obviously, if you are trying to watch on the live stream, I don't know how to internet
I fixed that.
because Fred Slow had to fix it for me.
That's it.
And so
What's going on with the interwebs?
well, the live stream audio portion should be fine.
Which it is. I already checked
Okay,
it.
good. Thank God. But the live stream on YouTube did not start because of some operator.
Did not
Some-
record or just wasn't on at all?
It just wasn't some operator.
Oh, okay.
error. I don't know who it was. I'm not here to point fingers. And,
So,
play
Fred, are
the-
you going to teach me some of this stuff one day?
Nope.
Please?
I'm not here to do the
Apparently
blame game or anything like that.
It
but
cannot be learned.
No.
Oh, I don't need to be learned. I just need to learn that board because I
Mm.
did it at 89. College radio's best, 89.9. This is BMAD with the top
Just got
9
legit
at
on this a
noon.
little bit.
We already gave them some love, but in all seriousness,
Sorry.
it was not a very great program over there. So
Thanks.
Wow.
It's just, I mean, I wasn't even in the radio program,
It's college kids.
and they were.
It was college good. College radio's best good.
Well,
Got awards and stuff.
hey, and that's great. And the people that give those awards suck just as much. But what I'm saying is, so they were the voice of high school athletics, right? They were the voice of the high school game of the week. Except not a single person in the program knew a single thing about football.
Yeah, well, the program was not about sports.
No,
really.
it's catered to wieners. So it was like a whole bunch.
We're geeks, and we're the wieners you're making fun of. Thanks.
I'm not making fun of anyone in specific, but
As he points at me.
if every single person you know only knows about one thing, that's weird.
So Mike tried to get
I
me to
know
do
about
like
a
a
lot of geek
basketball.
stuff.
I don't know anything about sports. He tried to get me to do a basketball game once, and I was. What do you call it when the other person doesn't know anything? He just tries to make commentary, like the blue. What did they call that guy?
Color.
I was the color.
Yeah,
I know. I'm like, that girl's throwing that ball really well. Look at her make a basket. That was awesome.
I am literally the color commentator for a professional indoor soccer team, the St. Louis Ambush, live on TalkSTL.com.
Yeah, but you know stuff about soccer.
And I do. And
I know that they make a goal. That's it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I know a little bit about soccer.
I kind of relate it to hockey. I know there's forwards and
I know
there's
a little
defense
bit
and
about
offense.
hockey because I played hockey, but most sports elude me, like the football and baseball to an extent. I can't like sit there and tell you what every little thing means and like what every little play they do, how But I do enjoy watching baseball.
It might not be
so
readily
good.
apparent to you both, but in high school I ran track and cross country because I was like 98 pounds wet before the Navy, and I did it because I didn't have to blame anyone else for what I did. Like I could run the 3.1 miles in 18 minutes. I was uber fast.
I don't want to get inside of your mind, and I don't want to dissect your thought process.
Okay.
But
I just didn't do sports because I was bad at them. I was short and skinny.
got that defense mechanism up again. Straight to blame, you went. You thought the reason you didn't play sports was you were concerned with blame.
No, I was concerned with getting hurt being that wet. Ouch.
That hurt your ears?
A little bit.
Just, that was unnecessary. But what I'm saying is, Bob,
Football, you're being a twig, you get broke.
hey, yep, and you are definitely amending what you said earlier because that is not what you said.
It's not what I said at first. It's one reason.
Okay.
There's multiple reasons.
I think Bob maybe didn't articulate what he meant so well.
I heard what he said, but not what he meant, which is
Okay.
difficult
True.
because it's
I got to say it out loud. I apologize.
right. Not what you said.
But what I would say is Bob was saying running cross country, it's kind of just you against the course, kind of like, so
It's an
You're
in-
beating
your
yourself.
time is your time. Yeah, you're
It's
beating
called
yourself.
an individual sport,
Yeah.
like
Correct.
tennis.
Yeah. So
Tennis is an individual sport. You play against somebody.
well, it's still.
Is it kind of individual?
Well, is cross country a sport or a game?
That's a really good point, and we've been over this before on the Under Further Review program, heard daily on TalkSTL.com noon to 3. If you keep score, that doesn't make it a sport. So if
Okay.
you keep time, that doesn't make it a sport. Gymnastics? Not really a sport. If there is a defense or strategy involved, now you're talking about sports.
well, there's
Yeah.
strategy in running.
But
I'm
there's
not
a-
arguing. I think there's strategy in NASCAR too.
Yeah.
So is it a sport?
Turn right a lot.
Well,
I thought it was left.
and it is.
I thought it was right.
Nope.
No, it's totally left.
Yeah, you're right.
Bob watches it in a mirror in his living room on the TV.
I don't watch
So
it.
that nobody knows he's watching it. He just has a mirror up, so he's like, I'm not watching
If I
NASCAR. It just
would-
happens to be on the TV.
That's right. That's the way I do it.
When he lifts his shirt, he has a number 3 Dale Earnhardt tattoo
Yeah.
over his heart.
I don't want to see that. So.
I would though.
I'm not showing it.
But anyways, hey, we had a lot going on in the world of television this week. So I'm gonna, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if B-Mad has seen it yet, but
What's
Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah,
I did not get to see this week's episode of Game of Thrones.
it's getting good.
Fred Slow is pretty into that Game of Thrones as well.
I've never missed an episode. There are 2 shows I've never missed an episode of.
Okay.
1 is the Game of Thrones.
Okay.
2 is The Simpsons.
Ah.
I've seen them all.
That is
See, I thought he was
strange.
going to say The Walking Dead because I know how much he loves it.
I can't. Maybe I haven't, but I can't call it. This past weekend, The Simpsons did a Lego episode. I don't know if you guys saw this.
No.
Totally gonna watch that.
Yeah,
Totally gonna watch that later.
I have no idea.
Did you see the Lego movie?
No,
It's excellent.
I've heard it's
really good.
great. Yeah.
And the Lego episode of The Simpsons is just like the Lego movie, and that's the end of a sentence.
So it's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
but it's the exact same story, which is weird. And it's
Maybe that's the idea. you know.
yeah, no.
So it's not even a parody at all. It's the exact same, just same premise.
It's yeah.
I've not watched.
No, you'll see.
the
It's
Simpsons episode.
very good. I'm a big Simpsons fan. Have been since I remember ever being a fan of anything. But it was very good.
How long has the Simpsons been on?
26 years, starting in '88.
Yeah.
So I'm way off. Yeah, no, 26 years, starting in
Yeah.
'88. So it's
Very cool.
yeah, very good. Also, this past Friday night, I went with my mother, my brother, and my sister for Mother's Day. We traveled across the river to River City Casino,
Okay.
which is in South County, and we saw, because you guys know I grew up super poor. we used to watch the Red Green Show on PBS. Are you familiar with this?
Yes, I am.
So Red from the Red Green Show was doing a one-man show at the River City Casino. It was $65 to get in, and there had to have been 500 people there.
That's awesome.
And he, as a 67-year-old man, killed 2 hours straight, one-man show.
That's awesome. And were you in stitches the entire time?
I personally was not, but I kind of live a life of comedy. But there were people there who could not contain themselves.
It was just the best thing.
It was the best thing they had ever seen. And all of his jokes are basically duct tape based. So it's
really
he will make a joke and it'll have something to do with duct tape. And then people in the audience had brought duct tape, and instead of clapping, they'd go and pull the duct tape out.
I like the sound.
Do you know the sound duct tape makes?
Yeah.
So they would pull it, womp womp, and then that was their like applause, and they knew because they were like.
They follow
fans
him.
of
Yeah,
this.
they like follow him.
Wow.
I don't remember that being a big thing on the show, though, was it?
Duct tape?
The duct tape?
Yeah, it's the handyman's secret weapon.
Oh, that's right.
So it was.
It's been a long time since I've seen Red Green.
It's an oldie.
It is.
There's
a light side and a dark side, and it holds the universe together just like the Force.
And since it's my trademark, but anyways, that Game of Thrones. What
good.
happened?
I mean, it's pretty good.
Okay, so what happened though?
Yeah,
spoilers ahead.
Come on,
what
spoiler alert us.
So on the Game of Thrones this week, and I'm terrible with character names, so you guys are gonna have to help me.
That's fine.
I've never missed an episode. I know the obvious one. I know the Hound.
Yes.
I know the blonde. Oh, what's her name?
Cersei, the queen.
Yes.
Queen Regent is Cersei.
Yeah. So
the mother of all the little incest children.
Yes.
That's Cersei.
The incest children. No, you're talking about the dragons.
He's talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. That is
so her
Daenerys Targaryen.
Sure.
Over across the sea.
So here was the story. So Jon Snow goes across the wall to attack the guys, like the good guys.
Caster's Keep.
Yeah, where the bad guys were.
Yes.
So
where the deserters from the wall went and destroyed Caster's Keep.
Right. So he went with a group of his close-knit friends and a new guy they introduced to the show like 2 episodes.
No, he's been on the show before. If you remember, he's the guy that chopped off Jaime's hand.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So
that's the same guy.
So, but a guy who was new to this storyline.
New to this storyline, correct.
So you knew he was up to no good.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, there was no way you could. No. So he goes with him, and as it turns out, he's on some other secret mission that no one knew anything about, and I don't remember that being set up at all in the storyline.
No, it was completely left.
So that's kind
left
of
field.
Yeah, lazy writing there. So they go north of the wall, which is the scariest thing humanly possible, and they kill everyone at the keep, except for the girls.
Correct. No, there were no men there. The bad guys were there.
They were dudes.
Yeah, those guys were dudes.
Yeah.
Caster's Keep was full of women.
Yes.
Okay.
So then they were like, well, you can come back and hang out with us, and they were like, no, we'll just burn this place to the ground, and then so that happened. So that was like an exciting story arc. But then the most important part, which I'm kind of brushing over kind of a lot of stuff, the most important part was the Khaleesi, the girl with the dragons.
Yeah, that's Daenerys.
Instead of invading Joffrey's castle, BTW, Joffrey's dead, instead of doing that, she put the brakes on.
She did.
And I don't know how I feel, because...
Well, right now she's queen of that land. I mean, truly, she's conquered every city she's gone to, which is, like, I think 4 that they've covered in this whole little jaunt that they've gone through. And everything that she's conquered has fallen to the hands of more evil people, because they were a bunch of slavers. So she went through freeing all these slaves to build her army to take to Westeros. And she finds out that all these places that she's conquered have been there's been an uprising and eviler people are taking over. So she's like, I can't leave and go kick Joffrey's butt if I can't even take care of what's going on here.
Yes, but a little bit the way I see it, if you like march all the way across Illinois and you take over East St. Louis and you're now the queen of East St. Louis, bro, just go to St. Louis. Like, being the queen of East St. Louis sucks.
What if she was the queen of Edwardsville?
Well, I mean, St. Louis is right there.
She's the queen of East St. Louis.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like, it's not down. And then, anyway, other storylines. So the escaped daughter, that advanced a little bit. That was nothing. The butch chick?
Nothing. No, Sansa?
Yeah.
The story of Sansa and Littlefinger saving her, that's not minor. That's major. Meeting up with her aunt at the Eyrie, the crazy lady, the crazy Stark, if you will. No, what is her designation? She's a Tully. I forget who she married. Darn it. Anyway, but yeah, the crazy keeper of the Eyrie, man, that's huge. She like grabbed her wrist and was like interrogating her about Littlefinger, her new husband.
She did grab her wrist.
Like grabbed her and was like,
that's not intense at all.
I thought she was going to kill her.
No. Oh, my God.
Drop her out of the moon door? That seems to be a bad thing.
All right, so
anyways, that advanced a little bit. So that was nothing.
Okay.
Also, there's like this big like butch knight chick.
Yeah, Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, and her story advanced, and that was nothing. That was a waste of.
Yeah, that was a waste of time.
So anyways,
she bonded with her little squire boy.
So weak. The whole thing is so weak. Like this storyline is lost.
Brienne of Tarth?
Yeah.
It's building up to something.
Yeah.
I've realized that you don't like things that build up to something. You just want to get to the hard-on action.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I get it.
Yeah, I want immediate gratification.
I understand. McDonald's boy.
I don't know what that means, but...
Oh, the fast food... It's my little theory of the generation that you guys encompass. It's like fast food nation. Like, I want it my way now, right this second, and don't hold me up.
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
absolutely.
drive-through.
Well, no, I didn't come
get
up...
your burger that way.
I didn't come up with, like, the 56K modem, like Be Mad. I mean, I came up... I can T1 it right now.
Yeah. Oh, T1's bad. What are you
Right.
talking about? That's 1.5 meg, and even I know that.
We have
you want some broadband speed in here.
I think we have 100 here at the
You
studio.
have 100 by 7.
We can get it quick.
That's right.
And
I love it.
I love it.
Oh no, that I agree. It's amazing, but
You should
sometimes
not-
you got to pace yourself when it comes to stories. You got to have a build up.
I guess, but...
Okay, so go on. So
Anything happened with Brandon Stark?
Brandon Stark
so
was
weak.
there. No, he was there during Caster's Keep. He was the one that they almost killed.
Mega weak, though.
The side plot story he was talking about.
Yeah, him and Jack White are over the wall, and he's like, there's my brother. I can pretty much like spit on him if I want, and he's like, but I won't because I did meet these strangers not long ago, so I'm gonna stick it out with them. Punch in. You that is terrible writing. Like he's hanging out with these strangers, two of them super weird, and
the brother and sister are very weird.
Oh, see, I was thinking the brother and then like the ogre dude.
Oh, Hodor. How do you say that? Hodor.
I don't
No,
know.
That's his. That he knows that person.
Yeah.
That's his like keeper right now.
The chick is totally doable, but like he's like, I'm gonna hang out with these strange instead of like meeting up with what
He's got to go on his mission. It's like Luke Skywalker and stuff.
You can call it that, but
He's a warg.
a
A warg.
is that?
That's the name. That's the name for the eyes rolling into the back of the head and taking over the animals.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
And taking over Hodor, the big giant tall ogre.
I'm not super into the magic part of the show.
Okay, not even the dragons.
I can kind of a little bit buy the dragons. Maybe
They're pretty awesome.
they're pretty all right, but like magic.
See, I almost wish they'd get more magic in the show.
I'm agreeing.
Which is weird.
No, I mean okay.
The red lady with her little leeches and blood magic, where she's like getting the blood of kings. And
Nothing's happening with that storyline.
Not at all.
Been 3 episodes. That hasn't even showed up.
Stannis is off
Anything
to the sides.
happened with the ice giants? Is that what they're called? I can't remember.
No, that was. They haven't touched on that again. No.
Yeah,
Not right now.
that seems to be the slowest growing back plot.
I know.
of anything.
Winter has been coming for years.
I know.
Well, they say summer has
I love that.
lasted for years.
I love that like meme that it's like we're coming and it shows them eventually, like right underneath
It's
it.
the meme is it's like winter is coming, and the meme
Yeah.
is just the apple like thing just spinning,
Yeah.
like because it's not coming. It's a good show though. It's all right. I mean, it's
Everything else that's going on is great. It's just funny to see how that has like not affected hardly anything except for that baby.
True.
Yeah,
that baby.
Or several
God.
babies.
that sucks.
Well,
That's what happened to all those babies.
I know.
can't win them all.
That's true.
You can win some of them.
Not all of them.
That's why that's saying.
Yeah,
Can't win them all. So
Kind of like the Blues.
but anyways, as I am so
yeah,
famous,
that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry.
I was trying to inject sports to help you out there. I'm sorry.
No, you were talking about hockey.
Let's go ahead and leave Amazing Spider-Man 2 for last because I have a feeling we're going to be talking about that a lot.
Okay.
Let's talk about this Gotham trailer. How did you feel about it?
Oh, it was. If the show is anything like that trailer,
Was
it
the
is going to be epic.
cinematography beautiful?
I'm not going there. He's not here tonight, so I don't have to play that game. It was an epic trailer. It was very cinematic, if you will. I like that word.
Yeah.
It was made to be like a movie, and it set up everything that you needed to know. It is going to be totally a story before the whole Batman thing. It's going to be Jim Gordon and Harvey Bullock, and it's going to be Catwoman and Penguin, and there's something buzzing in my ear.
Yeah, I keep getting that too.
Like a bee.
Anyway, I don't know if it's coming through on the recording. Hopefully not.
Anyways.
But anyways.
It sets up everything beautifully. And the intensity of those actors when they're going on about, like, when Harvey is trying to talk to Jim and say, you've killed before, because Jim's a war vet. Jim Gordon is, if you did not know. So, and he's like, but this isn't war. And he's like, yes, it is. And, you get that feeling that, like, there's intent. It'll probably be a fast show. I think Fred will like it. Like, it'll be intense and heavy. And, I mean, they beat up on the Penguin, like, in that trailer.
Yeah. It's a TV show, not a game?
It's a TV show.
I was a little confused.
Okay, so
TV show.
now with...
it's going to be on Fox.
The Penguin, he's looking a little skinny to me.
He is, but this is pre before he, like, gets big.
Yeah, I know.
I used to be skinny at one time,
That's
and then
true.
I got food.
Yeah.
When I was skinny, I was starving, and then they fed me.
Is it all, like, young, really looking, like, good-looking, like WB actors?
No.
That's beautiful. But Fox, see, this is what I'm afraid of. Fox is going to mess it up somehow. They're going to, like, shift the time slot, or they're only going to show, like, 3 episodes and then go on a break. They're going to do something to ruin. They always ruin their shows.
Now you're in my world. I can jump in on this now. So, and they're doing 24 right. 24 was pumped for 24 started getting pumped at the Super Bowl. That's how smart they are. Fox, though, is messing around in this, like, sci-fi fantasy, like, genre before, off the top of my head. That Sarah Connor show, Firefly, The Fringe show.
All those got messed up.
Ooh, did they get messed up, or did Fox do what they absolutely could to grab what is a very small audience? And that's what I thought happened. Like, they know
Fringe. Fringe was an amazing show.
Yeah, I heard that show.
And it had great ratings. At least from everything I seen on the interwebs.
As far as the quality of the show, can't tell you, didn't watch it. As far as the ratings, I absolutely bet it was getting beat every week by competitive shows. And that's not what, like, this sounds so, like, cliche. That's not what lamestream media wants, Like your Monday night, your Tuesday night, your Wednesday night shows are not those kind of shows.
Okay.
So you want, like, your sitcom television, you want your, I don't know, help me out.
So are we on the wrong time slot since we're a Wednesday show and it being Sci-Fi and Geeks?
We all know for a fact the podcast is much better on the live stream. But yeah, Fox has walked down this road before, and it's a dangerous path. Like,
But with Batman, I think it's a good crime drama, if you will. If you take out the superhero element, and Batman's not even, he's a superhero, but he's not, like, it's gadgets. It's not I-beams or flying or any of that craziness. It's a man with a lot of money and a lot of gadgets.
Right, who fights people who are half penguin and half alligator.
No. Sometimes. Most of his villains are more down to earth. You got the Penguin, who's just a guy that looks kind of like a penguin.
Well,
you got the Riddler, who's a guy who thinks he's really smart. You got the Joker, who's got a disfigured face. I mean, there's really no...
You got Mr. Freeze, who's cryogenically frozen and walking around.
Then you get in... you get Freeze and Killer Croc are two that are genetically enhanced.
Well, Fringe got an 8.5 rating overall. I'm guessing that's pretty good.
Is that, like, review? I don't know.
About Nielsen? I think that's, like... I don't know. It's not Nielsen. It's IMDb. So, its ratings seems to be good. I don't know what its actual numbers are and stuff. But more and more, a lot of these types of shows seem to be taking off. If you look at, like, Arrow, like, for the CW, it has, like, the highest, ratings, whereas, like, their sitcoms and stuff like that bomb. So, I mean, like, and even look at Game of Thrones. Like, Game of Thrones is kind of a nerd show, like, back in the day before, like, Lord of the Rings.
But it's on HBO.
I know,
if
HBO says it's cool, then it's cool.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Fred, what's your argument on that, though?
On what?
What he just said. Wouldn't you say, and I'm trying to get you to join in with me here. CW is set up for that type of stuff. The shows that they have on their channel are shows that would fit into. The Vampire Diaries, the Smallville. That's the type of programs that they like and they have on there.
Take their cracks at a little bit of everything. Whenever you have, like, and they're terrible shows to me, but, like, Heart of Dixie and stuff like that.
I don't know what that is.
It's just some southern, like, some New York doctor moved to a southern town, like, type of, like.
This is what I'm afraid
drama.
of with the future of television, that people are going to go, I want this, and I want this, and they're going to want to a la carte because that's the fast food nation mindset. Like, I want what I want, how I want it, and that's where you get niche shows like Sci-Fi. But if you didn't put those into one big package, those channels would just fall off the face of the earth because it would just be sports all the time. Because that is
that's
as
what
Fred
sells.
would say it sells.
Well, and the number one show every single week on TV, no matter what, no matter the time slot, no matter the part of it is WWE wrestling. WWE wrestling is number one.
It's huge.
No matter what. It's never beat. It's always constant.
Yeah.
It draws more combined than all the sports shows. So like
So it'd be nothing but wrestling and sports.
And that's real. That's the real estate. It would be wrestling, and it would be like high couture reality shows, and that's what it would be if you only catered
But anyone
to,
that believes that a reality show is smoking crack.
well, I'm not really in it for that conversation. I'm just in it for like the entertainment level.
I get you.
So and that's what works, and the cost is so low on it.
Absolutely.
The cost to produce a sci-fi program, and then the cost to try to make that work with what is already, like you said, a super niche audience, which is super driven to a platform, which is on-demand programming, which we're going to talk about later, is Kevin Spacey with the the moves he's made with this recent Call of Duty game and what he's doing with House of Cards. It struggles to work. It struggles to work on mainstream television.
I'll agree to an extent. Now, another thing that I'll bring up, though, on television, when it's on, the ratings might not be the best. But whenever these types of shows come to DVD and stuff like that, I think that you see a much higher sale rate on something like that because the geek people that are out there, the people like us, we're the collectors of stuff like that. We're the people that want to own that and have it to go back to. Whereas, like, you with your comic books, me with my anime, it's.
I try to champion things when it comes to this conversation, like Firefly. Firefly was an excellent show. It had great ratings, and it just did not catch on to mainstream. It had the ratings. It had all of us geeks watching it.
It was,
and then
little
after it
too
died
sci-fi.
It continues in a movie, which did really well. It continues in DVD sales. It continues
in comic books.
in comic. I have one here.
You don't have to show us. It won't impress us. But
you can show the
if we
screen.
were both to like if before the show, if Brandon were to be like, "Hey Bob, can you write like a series review of Firefly?" and then if you were to be like, "Hey Fred, can you write a series review of Firefly?" it would be two completely different reviews. So I think a lot of what we're taking in is super subjective. But like Fox in particular, Almost Human, that had the guy
Getting canceled.
Yeah, that had what was he from Star Trek? The guy from Star Trek.
Yes. McCoy, Dr. Bones.
Yeah,
or Bones, Dr. McCoy.
Basically the same show. Like basically, it's sci-fi. It's out there. It's a little weird. It's a crime drama wrapped in a sci-fi, which is what this Batman show is going to be, and it didn't stand a chance. Beauty and the Beast. There's a whole bunch of them that came and went. And
Beauty and the Beast was a joke, in my opinion.
CW show.
Yeah, no, and I thought it was a joke.
It was bad.
But then you do have your shows like X-Files, and you have your shows like Fringe that just stick it out like crazy, and they do extremely well for themselves. And then they get 2 feature films after the and. I'm not gonna say like 24 is not a nerd. It's an espionage.
Oh, it's super mainstream. Yeah.
And I think that espionage feel and like your NCIS, if you will.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not doing well though. It hasn't even started to do well even after the whole movie tie-in to Hydra.
The reason that
it's gotten better as a show, but it's not doing well in the ratings.
In my opinion, the reason that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't doing well is because it kind of goes back to what Fred said. Your niche market. If you're not hitting your niche market, if you're pissing off the person that would be interested in it at all from the get-go,
whole reason people
then you can't bring, because like a lot of the things that like the Marvel movies. I mean, obviously Avengers is like the 3rd highest selling film ever or something like.
I think it fell to 4th. So thank you, Disney's Frozen.
Oh, thanks. Either way, it's up there. It did really well. But what that movie did for itself is it made itself a very comic book, oriented movie, but it also made itself like, people aren't necessarily going out to see the next Die Hard type movie. They're going out to see this because it's super action-packed and it's super, heavy-hitting, and it's like, it's taking over that in people's lives for
Marvel
stuff
did it.
Like
Marvel did it well with the buildup of the whole Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3. So I mean,
whenever they threw Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the mix, though,
people were expecting more cameos, even if it would just be Iron Man flying by, and none of that happened. We had Coulson, and that was it.
I don't mean to cut you off, Brandon. I feel like I'm only playing devil's advocate, and I don't mean to do that. But I think you're absolutely wrong. When it comes to like going to the theater and seeing movies like your Die Hard movies, let's just go, for instance, to like a Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious is basically a Die Hard movie.
Those do really well.
And they're not the only ones.
Yeah.
All those movies in that genre do really well.
How did Speed do? There's a new-
1997?
No. There's a new one out. Need for Speed.
Oh, Need for Speed. That
Is it
movie,
come out
I
yet?
don't know.
Oh, it
if
did
it's-
super well.
Did it really?
Yeah,
It's based off a video game, actually.
well, and the guy that stars in it, the kid from Breaking Bad,
Mm-hmm.
the week before its release, and you guys wouldn't know this, they did 2 weeks before the release, they did a big push at WWE pay-per-view, and then they did the Monday night WWE pay-per-view show, and then
So they talked to a big giant audience.
yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. It's very, very smart. And what these shows like Revolution can't do is that, like you cannot bring the cast of Revolution on WWE.
No, but you could get a Marvel superhero to be at a WWE event. That would be
have Captain
Well,
America show up.
and
that would be smart and awesome.
You guys are talking about it because you don't know. They literally just had Hugh Jackman at Raw in St. Louis that I went to last
Wolverine.
week, which is the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Like these companies and these businesses know where to go, and you go where the audience is already captured. And like we said, we were talking about WWE wrestling earlier. They have it. They have the most loyal audience. They built a product 31 years ago, and it's still the number one product in the country. Are you kidding me? Who does that? Days of Our Lives, maybe?
Nah, no, not even compared.
Simpsons.
And you say you can't compare them, but you go to that demographic, you go to those moms who are at home every day spending
Yeah, I
their
guess
husband's
that's
credit
true.
cards, you absolutely have
Yeah.
that longevity. You absolutely have that lifespan.
What about having like
But
so you got Simpsons on Fox. Why not have Batman or Gotham or whatever them do a parody of that? That would get it out there. That's a good idea. Give take that marketing guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I understand what you're saying. Like, yes, those movies, those Fast and Furious films, still do well. But in comparison to Marvel films are still knocking them even down.
Sure.
And so, like, you see, like, stuff like this is just like blowing up. You know, it's becoming a bigger thing. And as I said, I was trying to say with Agents of Shield, they came out of the gate just kind of weak. They didn't come out of the gate strong like they do with every other Marvel, franchise. I mean, in my opinion, the first Thor and first Captain America were a little lacking in comparison to the Iron Man films. But
I disagree. Captain America, not so much. Thor, I agree with you. Captain America, I thought was done really well.
I mean, I think it was done well, but just in comparison to Iron Man, it didn't. It didn't. Maybe it's just me. It didn't grab me as much as Iron Man did, and I don't think it grabbed the general public as much as Iron Man did either, because Iron Man has that, I mean, Robert Downey Jr. in general just had that, feel.
He is Tony Stark.
Well, it's not just him being Tony Stark. He's a really funny guy, and he puts himself into his characters really well. And I didn't get that out of the first Cap movie.
Do you
get this? Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know if we have like a sound effect for the rumor mill, but according to sci-fi TVratings.com, so I don't know the validity of the site.
Okay.
Yeah.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.'s top draw ever was a 1.8 rating, which is very good for like a cable network. Not very good for like Fox, but that's about 5 million people, which is unacceptable on like a Monday night time slot. Like they're going to be in trouble.
They are.
Yeah.
They're
and I
definitely in
completely
trouble.
agree. The only reason I can see them like trying to push that to a second season is try and grab that Marvel audience back in. And then
it goes
start
back to
from
my
there.
basic point, and this is my basic point. If you do not give them fast food immediately, if you do not give them that instant gratification right now, you're going to lose them. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tried to build up with the first season to this whole Hydra thing, and they didn't want to like spoil it for the movie. They waited for the movie to come out. And then when they had the big reveal, then they had all the good stuff happening. You got Maria Hill on there now.
Yeah.
You got Deathlock finally on there now. You got some you got the guy with the dark light powers on there now. You finally got some superheroes going on.
And I love your loyalty to the brand, because whenever, and this is kind of showing like our age difference or whatever, whenever you were coming up, there were only so many options.
Absolutely.
And what I am now is I'm literally overwhelmed with media. I'm overwhelmed with
definitely.
content. And you absolutely have to grab me right away. And if you do not, you will not have me for the run of the entire.
And I agree with you to an extent. As I said, I don't think Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. delivered on that.
I watched.
No, it didn't at all.
Me and my wife watched episode 1 and then canceled it from the DVR, because it was that poor.
It was bad. I watched it only because I had people that asked me about it.
I'm going to catch up on it. I haven't been watching it as much as I've been watching Arrow, we'll say, because it's just not as good. It's not.
Let's see.
to
Back
that-
in my day, we had Batman, which was the movies, which was Michael Keaton's Batman,
which were awesome.
which were awesome until they changed Batman's. Then there's the Flash TV show, but only if you were rich enough to like own cable at that time. Like cable was very sparse, and
I think it made it a season or something.
No, I think it made it 2. I'd have to double check.
I don't know.
The
Doesn't matter.
Flash.
Can't. To quote Fred Slow, can't call it.
Well, and if we're playing this game and we're going back, let's go to like sci-fi on the mainstream. Mork and Mindy, okay, like that one worked. I guess he was an alien, but really it was just a sitcom television.
Yeah.
It was.
So then you're going to jump all the way through the 80s until you get to
No, you
Alf.
forgot Alf.
And
That was 80s.
Oh, that was for sure 80s. So you're going to get to Alf, and then you're going to get to My Little Wonder, and then outside of that,
Oh, the robot chick.
Yeah,
I had to I had to pull back brain cells for that one.
No, I agree that it hasn't been a popular medium compared to your mainstream.
Yeah, the Bionic Man did not do well. Battlestar
I think
Galactica.
they're mixing a lot of that mainstream media feel. Like I guess I wasn't getting my point across with these superhero movies, and I was comparing them to something like Die Hard. That's what they're doing. They're taking these superheroes and they're making them into action films. They're making them into quirky sci-fi films with the Guardians of the Galaxies. They're making them into espionage films, and they're finding a place for them within the realms of what has been popular in movies. And like with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they tried that, but they didn't necessarily execute it well at all. And with Gotham,
We're agreed on that.
Yeah, with Gotham, I'd hope to see better out of them. But I can see...
I think they're going to introduce their characters sooner, and they're going to be more prominent characters. When you're talking about young Batman hanging out with young Catwoman, Selena Kyle, and seeing that relationship form, which has never been talked about in the books in any way, shape, or form. It's new stuff.
Yeah.
For an old character. Batman is just celebrating this year his 75th anniversary. That's how long Batman's been around. And there's only, in 75 years, you've told almost every story. I think that this is going to be, at least for me, it's going to be a little newer, a little fresher, because it's going to talk about stuff that they really have never touched upon in the books and in the movies and stuff.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but for the sake of what we were talking about, will it take off the way that the Marvel movies have, or the X-Men franchise movies?
I'm going to bet on it. For the record, I'm going to put $5 out and says that it will take off.
Yeah, I mean, can it be...
Unless Fox messes it up.
Can it be Batman meets... or the Batman universe meets 24? Can it do that? And I mean, like, I don't know.
I know we're up against the break. My takeaway in the entire thing is, your audience is very smart, and they do not trust you in your current medium. So they do not trust you on Fox. They do not trust you there. You have to find a new medium for that. And if you can take all the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes and you can binge watch them on a streaming service, be it like a Netflix or an Amazon or whatever you're trying to do, then and you partner them with shows that are trying really hard, like your reinvention of Cosmos and all these things that are struggling. Like, hey, everyone in your circle can tell you Cosmos is the best show on TV. It's worse than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when it comes to people watching it.
Yeah.
Right. It can be renowned. I mean, we all know people who leave reviews or people who want to leave reviews. So reviews are BS anyways. But the medium's wrong. It's not the day and age anymore. It does not work the way it used to work. People who watch TV on a regular basis do not watch it for that type of programming. You need
people that watch things nowadays want to watch it to see it first. I feel that that's the only reason that it's the way it's still being presented. They just want to see it first. They don't want to have to wait for it. But some people do. They like to binge watch it, so they wait till it's all out there, and then they can just watch it in one big giant sitting. That sucks.
That's how I am.
House of Cards.
I'm all about that.
Arrested Development.
I've never seen House of Cards. I'm gonna have to.
Orange is the New Black. Like all these things.
Daredevil is getting his own Netflix original series.
There you go.
Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones.
And these things.
And I think that is a better place for them. I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Netflix would have been a better idea.
If you can get 5 million people to pay $7.99 a month to watch your show, you're doing considerably better than what the cost it takes to produce a show on Fox. Plus product placement, plus all that stuff you can obviously do. And if you give it to someone you can trust it with, like a Disney, who already owns the rights to so many just valuable.
Well, Disney is
IPs
essentially making Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, they absolutely
because they're Marvel, because they own Marvel. But Disney is screwing things like Star Wars and the fact that they just announced that the expanded universe is no longer valid.
Screwing things, I'm not sure about that.
You're gonna so you're a company and you're like, hey, I'm gonna buy your product, but this half of your product, I don't want it. And we're going to dump it off, and it never really existed.
Okay, but I'm not saying it's necessarily Disney's fault. George Lucas himself has come out and said, multiple...
He's drinking the Kool-Aid. He's their spokesperson.
No, he said it before Disney owned them.
That it wasn't canon? No, he validly said this is.
He actually put out as not canon.
And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I think we said Fox show, but it's on ABC. I mean, it's on ABC. Disney owns it, right?
Yeah,
so,
it's on ABC.
So Disney owns ABC. It's on ABC.
Correct.
With that said, if Disney were to champion like that third medium, like you said, and then put a face on it like a George Lucas, or put a face on it like
Well, they have done
Yeah.
that. They have done that. They put Joss Whedon behind it, and Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
That should have been like it gets the.
He's a geek legend.
Yeah, I mean, like it didn't necessarily turn out the way it should have. Like, and that, I mean, like, I'm not arguing with that. I think that, as I said, the Marvel films, they made those films so that mass people could enjoy them. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think they tried to, and even failed the geeks to an extent, make it a show that geeks themselves would like, whereas it needed to be a show that everybody would like.
From what I have read and heard and seen, the geeks wanted more. Like, I don't want to wait a whole another couple years for a movie with my favorite character. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to bring it to me on a weekly basis, and I'm at least going to see maybe a glimpse of him. A shield, maybe a flyover by Iron Man, a cameo by the one girl from Asgard, like maybe somebody a little bit better than her, but stuff like that. It doesn't have to be, straight on a whole episode with Captain America in it, but something. You know what I mean? Something along, maybe a backstory of Bucky, which is the Winter Soldier. That's what we were expecting as geeks from that show, and all we got was Coulson and a bunch of nerds that we didn't know or care about, especially Skye. Like, I was wishing for her death for the longest time.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, we kind of took over Flicks time with a lot of discussion.
We did. Good stuff, though.
We won't spoil Arrow for you. We won't spoil Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for you this week. So look for that next week with Arrow. I think the season finale might be tonight.
You Google that while we're.
I will look at it while we're on break. I will check that out. But I do have to bring up. There's been some confusion on the show about when Arya got Needle back.
Correct.
We did our research. We all got on the internet and we figured it out that it was episode 1. So I just wanted to clear that up so that any of the the outright geeks out there listening to us weren't just like trying to rip our heads off.
That's true.
Does your Twitter go crazy? That happens on Two Heavy to Skydive.
Oh yeah, when they say something like that, it was episode 1. That's all I was hearing.
We get that like with the Two Heavy to Skydive program. We'll say something erroneous, something not correct. And then no matter how good the rest of the episode was, no matter what we covered, no matter how funny we were, it's, hey, F you guys because you're effing idiots. No,
we just messed up.
Yeah, we just had mistakes.
We're human.
Everybody makes mistakes.
But it was,
Needle was, we're fine with it.
Needle was returned to Arya Stark in episode 1 of this season.
Returned to, I wouldn't say, but taken very forcefully.
And jabbed through the neck of a human being, which was amazing.
Yeah, but we're going to go to break.
Are we?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, can I go, though? Can I take off?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for
say
joining
bye.
us
No, I appreciate
in
that.
the studio. It's been great having you.
Yeah, I enjoyed the conversation. You should do this another time.
Can you shout out everything
you
do again?
Yeah, absolutely appreciate that. Facebook.com/Too Heavy to Skydive. That's TOO, heavy, TO, Skydive. On Twitter, @2 heavy, 2 Skydive. TooHeavyToSkydive.com. Wherever you listen to podcasts. I know that's how you're listening now. Stitcher, iTunes, OneCast, whatever your grabber is, we are there. It's made available. It's made simple. Find us on social network, and we have a lot of fans. We have a lot of friends. We have a lot of fun. And if you're here from the Metro East or whatever, check out we got some cool sponsors. I know you guys run their commercials. Pump House Bar and Grill, they're outstanding. We just brought in Smoke Clean. They're in Fairview Heights. Super cool vaping spot. So go there.
Is that what you're smoking now there?
A vaporizer.
There you go.
Have to go check
they got cool mods. They got cool. They got everything that is there is very decent. And a lot of these places are fly by night, and this is not that. This is set up and it's made to last. And obviously, and there's no reason I should talk about it because you guys do it all the time. But what those guys at Heroic Adventures is doing is through the roof. They got our fantasy books all around. The Belleville one, the Fairview Heights one.
Oh, they're great.
Those dudes are outstanding.
They were so awesome to us when we were there. We went to the Fantasy Books and Games in Fairview. They had a table for us. They had water for us. They let us participate in it. We got to film stuff, which we're going to be putting up later onto the website.
I have that now. And I know you guys say a lot of cool stuff on the internet and on Twitter you're like, you're great. And on Facebook you're like, you suck, but whatever. But if you really do want to support and you want it to keep going, you want us to keep doing it, check those guys out. Let them know you heard it here. Let them.
Definitely.
This is fun, and we appreciate them. So
Absolutely.
So do that, and I appreciate it. 180nutrition.org. We did a weight loss challenge. It's very good. So
I need to lose some weight.
Yeah, I need to do a weight loss challenge.
Clint and Lindsay Forsyth. And the neatest thing about them, like they're going to give you what you need, and there's a cost involved. And welcome to life. You'll get real used to it. But they're bringing you a service that I didn't understand before. So it was care, and it was compassion, and it was investment, and working with those guys on feeling better was outstanding.
Did you lose weight?
Yeah, I was at the end of the challenge. It was a 24-day challenge. I was down 12 pounds. I was down like
that's good.
Yeah, like 2 inches or something.
That's real good.
And then a bunch of us did it. Me and Brayton Dulcie from Under Further Review, her daily on TarkosTale.com. Alex Lambert, who produces.
Is it better than a lot of juicing? Because that's what I've been doing. I lost like 10 pounds with this stuff, and then I went on my little vacation to Arizona, and I gained it all back.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't win them all.
I know. Yeah. Well, they fed me really well.
They made that saying for a reason.
But
it was
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, but yeah, definitely appreciate you guys having me. So good job, everyone.
You,
GG.
Thank you, Fred Slow. Woo!
Yeah.
Dude, I'm stressing out. It's New Comic Book Wednesday, and I'm nowhere near my favorite comic book store.
Where are you?
I'm in Fairview Heights.
Then go to Fantasy Books and Games. It's right there in Fairview Heights next to the Dandy Inn at 1977 West Highway 50. They have a fantastic collection of comics, books, toys, and games. Grab your stash and come back for the show.
Thanks, Tony B. I'm headed over there right now to Fantasy Books and Games at 1977 West Highway 50.
Or call them at 618-624-0920.
Do you want to look, feel, and perform better every single day? Whether you're at home, in the gym, or on the playing field, 180nutrition.org is your source for the best performance nutrition. 180nutrition.org is for everyone. My name is Clint Forsyth.
And I'm Lindsay.
Together we own 180nutrition.org.
Jumpstart your new year with an Advocare 24-day challenge before the new year starts.
180nutrition.org, your local and trusted Advocare independent distributors. 180nutrition.org. Use what the pros use. Get your Advocare 24-day challenge and visit 180nutrition.org. Right now.
Hey, B-Mad, you busy this weekend?
I've got a date.
A date?
Yes, at Fantasy Books in Belleville, Illinois. I'm missing some comics for the show.
There's a Fantasy Books in Belleville?
Yes, there is. Fantasy Books Inc. is the original location. It's located at 1113 East Main Street in Belleville. They have comics, games, toys, and the largest collection of back issues.
That's awesome. I'm always looking for back issues. Where exactly is that again?
Fantasy Books Inc. is located at 1113 East Main Street in Belleville, and you can call them at 618-235-0844.
Hey, B-Mad, can I borrow your wallet?
Why?
I need more comics.
Hey gang, Brant here. Smoke Clean Vapor Shop is the new official Illinois vapor shop of Under Further Review and is the premier location in Fairview Heights for all of your vaping needs. Smoke Clean has over 150 flavors in stock, with our house blends on par with nearly every premium brand. The customer service is excellent, the management team is superb, and the employees are extremely knowledgeable. Nobody beats our prices. We will make it right. Whether you are brand new to vaping or are an experienced user of authentic and clone mods, Smoke Clean is the clear choice for all your vaping needs. Yeah, that's right, I said authentic mods. Smoke Clean is located in Fairview Heights, Illinois at 5200 North Illinois Street, Suite 108, 62208. Call Smoke Clean right now at 618-27-SMOKE. Visit facebook.com/iSmokeClean. Smoke Clean, the official vapor shop of UFR. I smoke clean. Do you?
Hey, Brant, have you been down to the Pump House Bar and Grill in Wood River, Illinois lately?
Yes, Fred, I have. It's my favorite bar and grill in the Metro East.
I've been going there since their opening in February 2012. It quickly became my hometown bar.
I really enjoy their daily drink specials, including their signature little beers and their great menu.
Yeah, it's definitely not just bar food. Their brisket is to die for.
Don't forget about the free chicken chunks with the purchase of a drink every Tuesday, 4 to 7.
It's the weekend destination for a good time. Bands or karaoke every Friday and Saturday night, and football all day Sunday.
The staff and atmosphere are great too. It's like my own man cave with a waitress.
If you haven't checked out the Pump House Bar and Grill, visit their Facebook page, facebook.com/the Pump House Bar and Grill, or just stop in at 1523 East Edwardsville Road, Wood River, Illinois. Just 30 minutes from downtown St. Louis and just 2 minutes from Highway 255. And don't forget to say Under Further Review sent you.
If you're going to any other bar in the Metro East, punch in.
And we are back on the Outright Geeks program in the OT Media Studio in beautiful downtown Alton, Illinois. Just to recap, this show is brought to you by Fantasy Books Incorporated. It is brought to you by Fantasy Books in Belle Vegas, Illinois.
That's correct. That's the original location.
Yeah, Fantasy Books and Games.
Which is their Fairview Heights location.
And then Heroic Adventures.
In beautiful Edwardsville, Illinois. I almost said Alton.
I love Edwardsville.
You love Edwardsville?
I love Edwardsville.
Like a big giant heart for it?
Giant heart for it. I love Edwardsville. I don't know what it is. But
hey, speaking of our friends there at Heroic Adventures, they have a picture up of their winner of the free comic for a year. David Tate, our winner of Comic a Week for a Year drawing, picked up his first book today. It looks to be Apocalypse AI. Sorry. Yeah.
sorry. No, yeah, it's a small picture. I got you. Very cool, very cool. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into the stash. We're saving the free comic book day talk.
Well, no, the free comic book day is part of the stash.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I brought the free comics that I picked up. It's a little talk about something that I thought was a nifty phenomenon that I did not know it happened. So we got the books for free, and then right after you get them for free, they were being posted on eBay and places of that nature and put prices on them. So we were at Fantasy Books and Games in Fairview. We were taking pictures. Awesome. It was amazing.
That store is huge.
It is.
I did not realize that store was
so double the size
big.
Of Heroic.
It's so good.
There's so much stuff.
All the toys they have there.
It was amazing.
Oh, man. I need a giant bank account. I just need
I was surprised how much restraint you had while we were there.
I can't believe I had so much restraint.
You spent like what, $20?
Yeah, I got 2 grab bags.
You did, because that's amazing.
They had these grab bags, and I was like, I'm always up for a challenge. I'm up for a little adventure.
And they said they were good, and I wasn't disappointed by what was in there.
I actually got some good stuff, and I've actually been reading through. I haven't read any of my free comics. I've been reading through the other stuff. I read the X-Men Hope. It's a one shot, and it's
about the story about the first mutant after M Day that was born.
Yeah, and then God, I can't remember what else it was I was reading. It was some off the wall name, and I can't remember because I just got so many comics that day. I was so happy.
You got those. You got the free ones, and then you got the grab bags.
Yeah, and then I got an awesome Spider-Man T-shirt.
That's right.
I was just in like Spider-Man mode.
You're very happy. Yes.
Yeah, after seeing Amazing Spider-Man 2. But at the end of the show, we're gonna get on, spoiler alerts then, because we're going to be talking about Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yes, we are, because we are both geeking out over it. It was delicious.
We kind of got a little carried away during Flicks time, so that will be a big part of that. And then the last thing I'll bring up, and I don't need to bring it up for very long because we only got a little bit of a trailer, but was that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and that game looks...
It looks sick.
It does. I am interested in a Call of Duty game.
And it's not going to be on PS3.
Is it only next gen? Is it only?
Will you check that for me? I thought it was because I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking about upgrading my system. But before I talk about that, we'll talk about that during that time.
Sure.
So they had a table of books. There were 60 books for free. Now, because of the limited amounts that they get for the store, and they just don't want people grabbing a stack of books, they put a limit. They said if you were the first people in line, the doors open at 10, and there were people lining up like 9 o'clock, earlier than 9 o'clock, I think. They gave you a raffle ticket to win this free comic for a year, one per week for a year. So if you had the raffle ticket, if you were lucky enough to be in the line at first, you got 6 books. But everyone else got 3 books. Now, I went to 2 different stores, and since they're a sponsor and they're a friend of mine, I got a little bit more than that, so I could talk about it today. I picked up the Mouse Guard, which is like three stories, but it's mainly the first one is the Mouse Guard. If you've not been reading this, this is the same publisher that does the one that I can't say, Acaria, which is Hacktivist. Anyway, this book on eBay has been going for, where'd it go? I had this all here, and I apologize.
Oh, it's no problem.
Where'd it go?
Now, you're looking up the prices?
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that one's going for $12.
That's right, $12. So if you picked up Mouse Guard, if you're wanting to part with it, it went up onto the eBays and the places where they sell stuff like this for $12. I did get a couple of extra on accident, one from each store, but not really on accident. I'm going to give one of each of these away. So the first book is Black Sky, Project Black Sky, which features Captain Midnight and Brain Boy. This is from Dark Horse Comics. Project Black Sky is going to be a theme, a crossover event through all of Dark Horse's different books, and this is the first story. It's a whole story in here. It's not like a flip side or anything like that. I have not gotten into Captain Midnight, but after reading this, I really want to know more. So I think I might start picking up this. I think there's a collected volume. I think they're on number 10. And why is this not... Project Black Sky is now on eBay for $8, and it was free. It's free on Free Comic Book Day. So I have an extra copy, which we're going to come up with a contest or something. What are we going to do? How are we going to give this away?
I think next week.
Next
I think
week
we should give away some code words.
Okay.
And then we will be giving these out.
So at the end of this episode, during the next break, we'll think of a code word.
Yeah.
We'll give it out, and whoever could be the first one to tweet us, Twitter us, Facebook us with the code word will be our winner. How's that
Do you
sound?
want to do Twitter or you want to do Facebook?
Choose.
Let's do Facebook.
Okay, we'll do Facebook. Okay.
We're going to go with a code word at the end of the show, and the first person to post that code word on Facebook will be the first person to get that comic, and then next week we'll do the next one, and then the week after that we'll get the last one out for you.
Okay. And then this next one is Valiant Universe. It's on for $6. It's the Handbook 2014, so it goes over all their properties. Valiant is coming back with a vengeance. They're redoing their characters. They're redoing their books and storylines. They got some new artists and everything. But it gives you kind of a little bit about each one of these properties that Valiant has. And I have 2 of those, so we can give out one of those. And like I said, it is now $6 online. Now, all these books that were priced started out at $5 and then worked their way up.
Sure.
So this one here is...
So they could change by the time you either get book in hand.
Correct.
Or, you know...
They could be worth nothing, but they were free anyway, so...
Yeah.
So I think it was weird.
If you're a collector and you didn't get one of these books, you know,
be listening. Yeah, be listening. So this one here is from DC. It's a new storyline called Futures In. It is about Batman Beyond and a storyline... that basically is like an apocalyptic storyline, and then he's got to go back in time.
That's the one that ran out before I could grab it.
Correct. That's the one that you were really wanting. But
and somebody else was getting it.
There were a lot of them, though, and so they were only $5 on eBay. This one, honestly, was $0. It was not even listed in the list of books that were priced, so it's still free. It's Skyward. I did not read this. There's 2 stories in here. I did flip through it. There's 2 stories in here. If you're into that, that's going to be another one that we're just going to give away. Then there's Grim Fairy Tales from Xenoscope. Grim Fairy Tales is where the fairy tales come to life, if you will, and they try to retell those stories but put a little twist on them. So this one here is going for $6. Then this was a weird one. The number 1 came out the week before. I did pick that up last week, or the week before this came out. And this is V-Wars number 0. IDW, V-Wars. So a vampire strain gets out into the world. Sure. I guess they were digging in some ice in Antarctica. Somehow this vampire strain gets out and starts changing people. And it's a war between the vampires and the humans. The squad that you follow around is called V8. Get it? Are you getting it? Okay.
Yep.
So this is number 0. This is not going to be given away because my wife has claimed this one. She's like, this is mine. So V-Wars number 0, IDW, was one of the free books. This is the one everybody was clamoring for. This is Zombie Tramp. It doesn't even have a number. It is mature readers only. They were not giving this out to the children.
And I don't get it.
It is a zombie that can actually change back to a human. And it even says here, attention, this book has been censored for your protection. There's warnings all over, but it's called Zombie Tramp. It's Action Lab, Danger Zone, mature readers. So she is a zombie that can turn back into a regular chick, and she's out for revenge. I perused it, but I did not read it wholeheartedly. Zombie Tramp is going for $9.
Yeah, that one was going
hot.
like crazy.
It was hot.
It did not catch my eye at all. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody has their own personal opinion. It did not catch me, but and I was talking to. I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus, but I was talking to some people at Heroic, and they're like, "Man, that Zombie Tramp just flew out of here." And they were in the same boat as me. They're like, "I don't get it." They're not as I said, nobody's going under the bus, but they're not as big into zombies as I am not either. So maybe that's has a little more to do with it. But yeah, everybody really wanted that book.
I don't know if you can see it, the cover, if you're watching the YouTube, but there it is. So the next book is Uber. It was a free comic book, and now it's worth $8, or at least right now it's worth $8. This one was not even a comic. This is kind of a secret file. So it's like you open up and it's like drawn paper clips, file folders on all these. So this is a story of World War II, and the Germans created superheroes called tanks, or I don't know. There's a German word for it. I just perused it. It's like I said, it's not even a comic. It's just kind of giving you the overview of this world, Uber. And after perusing it, I'm definitely gonna read it. I'm gonna look into more of this. I might actually pick this up because it's German Superman,
and it's something different.
It is something different. I like history.
Yeah,
I'm a big history guy. Next on the list is Rocket Raccoon. It is up on the eBay for $6. Now, Scotty Young did the cover. It's Rocket with two of his patented laser blasters. It is a number 1, actually. It doesn't say number 0. It's a number 1. This is going to be an ongoing series by Scotty Young. Scotty Young does a lot of alternative covers. So the alt covers for a lot of books, he'll do them. He actually did the shirt for Free Comic Book Day as well, which if you were lucky enough to get the shirt, that was $20. I would have died for the shirt, but they did not have them at any of our Fantasy Books locations, which I didn't ask why. I'm going to have to ask Steve and Drew why they did not have them. But Scotty Young, Rocket Raccoon, number 1. Once again, I did not read it completely. I perused through it because I got a lot of books too, and I haven't had a chance to even get through them all. But it's a little bit of Rocket's adventures by himself without the Guardians. Speaking of the Guardians, which is going to be out August 1st.
Yeah. I do
Guardians of the Galaxy. This one here is going for $5. So it's one of the lower ones because there were a lot of them. There were a lot of the Marvel, Rocket Raccoon, Guardians. There were a lot of those books.
Yeah, there was a huge stack of them. Which,
now,
it makes sense. They're marketing for the movie, and it's...
Correct.
It makes complete sense to have that out there.
One little PS on the Scotty Young Rocket Raccoon. If you get it signed, it's worth $20. Just an FYI.
So if you got it signed or get it signed,
you can get $20.
Keep an eye out on that.
So speaking of Rocket, he is one of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now in the movie, they're not going to feature one of the characters. In the comic, Iron Man's a part of the team. But in this, and he's not going to be a part of the movies, or at least at this point, we don't know if he's going to be a part of the movies.
I could go on a rant for that, but we'll save that for a later day.
Okay. In this book, Tony Stark grabs Flash Thompson, who is the current Agent Flash, part of S.H.I.E.L.D., actually. So Spider-Man villain, major Spider-Man villain, who is now... the symbiote is now a part of Flash Thompson, who was Peter Parker's childhood.
He's basically Venom.
He's Venom. Anyway, so there's a story there. But this is the story of how Venom joins the Guardians of the Galaxy, which being a symbiote, an alien, it kind of fits. I'm looking forward to see where this goes because the comedy was in here, which,
really?
As I told you before, Guardians of the Galaxy was never a book slapsticky, funny like we've seen in the trailer for the movie. But I think they're going more movie with these books now, which I enjoy. I think that's a good thing. I'm not knocking it.
Awesome.
Next is Rise of the Magi. Not rated. $0 still. No one's selling it on eBay. It's an Image title. It's Mark Silvestri. Silvestri. Silvestri.
I'm not sure.
Mark he did a lot of Image books back in the day, and I think he did Top Cow. Top Cow is actually on this also, so I don't know if Top Cow is now part of Image, but I did not read it. I don't know anything about it. But Rise of the Magi was another one of the books. Epic. Did not read this one either. This is from Comic Tribe. This is number 0. It's a pilot issue. It's got a kid that I didn't read it, but I've heard people talk about it already. It's a kid that gets superpowers through an accident. So it's kind of like a Spider-Man, Superman crossover because it's a kid with powers, but he's got powers like Superman. And that Epic was $6. Next is Ipso Facto. Once again, I don't know anything about it. Doesn't even say who the publisher is on the cover. Free Comic Day book. Ipso Facto, 5. Scam, another Comic Tribe, free. Not sold on eBay. There's no price other than free on this one. It is issue 0 as well. It tells the story of Crosswords, which I told you when I flipped through it when we were there at Free Comic Day. It was a very Deadpool-like character.
Yeah.
So there's that, and this will be one that we will give away as well because I perused it and I'm just like, eh. And then I picked this up just for the heck of it, and it's actually priced at $5. It was Overstreet's Comic Book Marketplace, and the reason I picked it up is, if you do not know this year is the 75th anniversary of Batman. So there is a whole little spread here on some of the more prominent covers of Batman. It goes through the Golden Age.
Oh, that's awesome.
The Silver Age, the Bronze, the Dark Knight years, as they're calling it, and then the 21st century, which is the New 52 stuff. And it's got like a bunch of layout of these covers. Jim Lee's Batman, which is one of my favorites, up here where he was on the number, I forget what number that was, 608. So I picked it up just because of that.
Nostalgia factor.
Well, yeah, and there's a good story about Batman in there, and I'm a Batman fan. So that is the free comic books. There were 60 of them. There are several that we're going to give away. We're going to give you a code word at the end, so keep listening for that. I brought this in. Issue number 6 just came out. I didn't pick it up at first, but the other day, I have all the apps for like Image and Marvel. Well, I have the Image app, and they gave me a free number 1. And I read it, and I talked to Drew, and they found all 6 that are currently out there. This is Alex and Ada. It is a story of a boy in the future whose grandmother, of all people, buys him a girlfriend. A synthetic humanoid.
Very interesting.
She, in this story, talks about how she loves hers, but not a girl, boy. Not that I need to clarify, but just because of the story. And she's like, you should get one too. And he's like, I can find me a girlfriend. And then she just buys him one.
So he's almost like stuck with...
Yeah, the covers are great. So number 1's kind of like an homage to getting married. She's got like a veil on, but the veil's the wrapper that she came in.
Yeah.
And then here's him opening the box on issue 2. Then this here with the light is not light from his eyes. They have like implants. So they can do, they can think, turn on the light or turn off the light, and it'll do it. So telepathy is a big thing with these implants, and they control the machinery around them. Number 4 is some kind of digital thing. I have not read all these. I read 1. That's all I know is the basic premise of the story. Here's them hugging each other in number 5. And then number 6. The art is Sarah Vaughn. I don't know much about her, but I'm going to find out more. I like the covers, and the artwork's the same inside. So back again, we'll
That's
go through
one
them.
thing that I like a lot. Whenever a comic does have the same artwork inside
and out, yeah.
Because I know some comics it's just kind of like, hey, here's this beautiful cover, and then you get into the comic and it's not necessarily the same.
I'm going to start saying amazing covers just because of Amazing Spider-Man.
I actually didn't even say beautiful
amazing art. I
because
know. Oh, thank you. So this is Nail Biter number 1, Image comic. Picked it up because Drew's like, I want you to tell me what you think of this. It is something that Erica would be into because she likes the cross stuff. But the premise of the story is the guy chews the nails until he eats the fingers and ends up killing them, I guess, through this process.
Interesting.
So I don't know yet. I'm not into that stuff. I'm really not. But I'll read it and I'll let you know. The cover is amazing. It's good art. So there's that. And then Revenge number 3, also for Erica. He put on the dog face after he got his face ripped off. This is a mature readers, Jonathan Ross and Ian Churchill. So there's Revenge number 3. I also picked up Green Lantern number 31. This is the first part of 6 of Uprising. So I've always been a fan of Green Lantern. I've always enjoyed the fact that he's a space cop and he's patrolling sectors and there's aliens, and I always enjoyed that about Green Lantern. Well, the Green Lanterns were feared and respected throughout the galaxy, but through current events, they've become shamed, if you will. Their home planet's been blown up, and there's basically a war about to brew with all the people that think, hey, who are these guys to appoint themselves as my protector and
you're
telling me what to do.
officer,
Why are
basically.
you telling me what to do type of situation? So I can't wait to check that out. Revelations number 5. Like I said, the story is kind of dragging on, and I'm not usually the person to go, man, why is this dragging on? But I do like Humberto Ramos. This is going to end after one more issue. I'm only guessing that it's going to end because he's the artist on Amazing Spider-Man number 1, which I have to mention came out last week, right before Free Comic Book Day. It was amazing. It was superior. It was very, very good to see Peter Parker.
I saw that $6 price tag on it, and I didn't get it.
It's a double issue.
I know it's a double issue.
Yeah.
To an extent, I'm not a big fan of double issues because it's kind of like I just want the Spider-Man comic.
Well, there's Spider-Man in there.
Oh, is it? In
it's
the
all
second
Spider-Man.
part? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
Spider-Man.
understand the situation. I will probably go and pick that up now.
It was a big story. Futures End, which they gave away the free one, and this is number 1. They grabbed it for me because I told them that I enjoyed the Futures End that came at Free Comic Book Day. So I'm going to give it a chance. It's the number 1. So if you picked up the number 1, it's Brian. Once again, I'm not good with names. Azzarello, Azzarello. And the first time I saw his work is he did some art with the Joker. He did like a whole Joker story, which I thought was awesome. I almost thought about getting that as a tattoo. The Joker that John, what was John's last name again? Hold on, I will tell you. Darn it, John Myrick. What was his name?
I'm not 100% sure on
I'll have to find it. I got it up there. Anyway, I want to say Myrick, but the Joker that John redrew that he had the prints for, that type of Joker. It was really, I like that art. Caliban number 2. So this is the story of the people that are exploring space, and instead of using cryogenesis. Well, they do use some cryogenesis, but they do have pilots that are flying the ship. They're in warp, and while they're in warp, they intersect an alien ship. So this is number 2. I got the Terror cover, which I thought was really awesome because it's like this squid alien thing coming out of a deep, dark hole.
Yeah.
I just really like that cover.
It looks neat.
It's a Garth Ennis book. Garth Ennis is an excellent writer. Number 2 of Brian Hitch's Real Heroes. So this is the story of... so these guys are a super team, but they're a super team of actors. So it's them in a movie situation, kind of like our Avengers, but then they get transported to a world that they were the real they were the real heroes in that world.
Oh,
okay. But their heroes have died. So I don't know if they get powers yet, but they're actors. So I guess whoever wrote the scripts and for these movies maybe channeled that world, if you will, and they get somehow transported to it because their counterparts of that universe have died. But they were actual real heroes there with the real powers that they were predicting in the movie. So we'll see where that goes. It is a reproduction of the Watchmen type cover with the real heroes on the side. So now we get into the hipster book of the week. This is for Brandon out there at Fantasy Books and Games in Fairview Heights. He says that I am a hipster comic book collector. So here's Brandon's hipster book of the week. It's She-Hulk number 4, which, as I said, I did not pick this up at first. I was like, whatever. And I picked it up and I liked it because it was funny. And I'm just ready to read number 4 here. It's got a little picture of Daredevil on it, Matt Murdock, and his little Daredevil counterpart, and it's also got Doom. So I'm looking forward to reading this. So Brandon's hipster book of the week, She-Hulk number 4, and now my book of the week, Magneto number 3. Cullen Bunn, local writer here in St. Louis. It's the retelling of Magneto. Basically, he's back to having nothing. There's no Asteroid M. There's no fancy anything. There's no money. He is broke, using nails as weapons, going against people that are going against mutants. So it's taking him back to his roots, and it's him turning into a anti-hero type character.
Gotcha.
Punisher type character, if you will. So there's number 3 of that, which I'm looking forward to cheering to. And then another Spider-Man number 1. So all leading up to what we're going to talk about next, Amazing Spider-Man 2, which came out in theaters. These all came out around that same time. So you had Amazing Spider-Man number 1 rebooted last week. And then this week, Spider-Man number 1 for Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh, nice.
So this is a Bendis book. Bendis, as we know, is a famous writer. Hear his name a lot in a lot of these books. Don't know anything about it. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to be surprised and probably pretty amazed. So that is my stash for the week, everybody.
All right. So we are going to take a quick commercial break.
And then we're going to talk more Spider-Man.
Then we're going to talk about Amazing Spider-Man.
Woohoo! Woo!
So we will be right back.
Yay.
Dude, I'm stressing out. It's New Comic Book Wednesday, and I'm nowhere near my favorite comic book store.
Where are you?
I'm in Fairview Heights.
Then go to Fantasy Books and Games. It's right there in Fairview Heights next to the Dandy Inn at 1977 West Highway 50. They have a fantastic collection of comics, books, toys, and games. Grab your stash and come back for the show.
Thanks, Tony B. I'm headed over there right now to Fantasy Books and Games at 1977 West Highway 50.
Or call them at 618-624-0920.
Do you want to look, feel, and perform better every single day? Whether you're at home, in the gym, or on the playing field, 180nutrition.org is your source for the best performance nutrition. 180nutrition.org is for everyone. My name is Clint Forsythe.
And I'm Lindsay.
Together we own 180nutrition.org.
Jumpstart your new year with an AdvoCare 24-day challenge before the new year starts.
180nutrition.org, your local and trusted AdvoCare independent distributors. 180nutrition.org. Use what the pros use. Get your AdvoCare 24-day challenge and visit 180nutrition.org. Right now!
Hey, B-Mad, you busy this weekend?
I've got a date.
A date?
Yes, at Fantasy Books in Belleville, Illinois. I'm missing some comics for the show.
There's a Fantasy Books in Belleville?
Yes, there is. Fantasy Books Inc. is the original location. It's located at 1113 East Main Street in Belleville. They have comics, games, toys, and the largest collection of back issues.
That's awesome. I'm always looking for back issues. Where exactly is that again?
Fantasy Books Inc. is located at 1113 East Main Street in Belleville, and you can call them at 618-235-0844.
Hey, B-Mad, can I borrow your wallet?
Why?
I need more comics.
Hey gang, Brant here. Smoke Clean Vapor Shop is the new official Illinois vapor shop of Under Further Review and is the premier location in Fairview Heights for all of your vaping needs. Smoke Clean has over 150 flavors in stock, with our house blends on par with nearly every premium brand. The customer service is excellent, the management team is superb, and the employees are extremely knowledgeable. Nobody beats our prices. We will make it right. Whether you are brand new to vaping or are an experienced user of authentic and clone mods, Smoke Clean is the clear choice for all your vaping needs. Yeah, that's right, I said authentic mods. Smoke Clean is located in Fairview Heights, Illinois at 5200 North Illinois Street, Suite 108, 62208. Call Smoke Clean right now at 618-27-SMOKE. Visit facebook.com/iSmokeClean. Smoke Clean, the official vapor shop of UFR. I smoke clean. Do you?
Hey, Brant, have you been down to the Pump House Bar and Grill in Wood River, Illinois lately?
Yes, Fred, I have. It's my favorite bar and grill in the Metro East.
I've been going there since their opening in February 2012. It quickly became my hometown bar.
I really enjoy their daily drink specials, including their signature little beers and their great menu.
Yeah, it's definitely not just bar food. Their brisket is to die for.
Don't forget about the free chicken chunks with the purchase of a drink every Tuesday, 4 to 7.
It's the weekend destination for a good time. Bands or karaoke every Friday and Saturday night, and football all day Sunday.
The staff and atmosphere are great too. It's like my own man cave with a waitress.
If you haven't checked out the Pump House Bar and Grill, visit their Facebook page, facebook.com/the Pump House Bar and Grill, or just stop in at 1523 East Edwardsville Road, Wood River, Illinois. Just 30 minutes from downtown St. Louis and just 2 minutes from Highway 255. And don't forget to say Under Further Review sent you.
If you're going to any other bar in the Metro East, punch in.
I wish I were an Oscar Minor wiener. That is what I'd really like to be.
Then everyone would be in love with me.
That's right.
There you go. But things I'm in love with, the Amazing Spider-Man franchise on film.
Number 2 came out,
Yeah.
was that last weekend? Right?
Yeah, it was this last weekend.
Because I went and seen it on Friday, which I never do.
I went and saw it on Thursday.
Oh, you went to the midnight showing?
They didn't have a midnight show.
Oh, they
they
didn't?
actually had a show. They don't do midnights anymore. They
Really?
do. They basically release them on Thursdays now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
so-
Thursday night there was people watching Amazing Spider-Man.
7:30, 9:30, 8:30, all sorts of 30s.
See, my kids were asking to see it early, and they're like, "Can we go to the midnight showing?" I'm like, I'm old. I'm not doing midnights."
Oh yeah,
But if they would have found out that there were showtimes earlier, I probably would have seen it Thursday too.
and it was, in my opinion, awesome. I've heard some opinions that they didn't necessarily like all the Peter and Gwen Stacy scenes. I felt that they were very relevant.
They
to
were
the story.
necessary. It's the storyline, the death of Gwen. I mean, this movie should have just been called The Death of Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, spoilers. If you
Spoilers.
didn't-
I'm
yeah.
sorry, we said spoilers
we said
earlier,
spoilers earlier. We said that once we got to Amazing Spider-Man, we'd
But
be
you-
giving out spoilers.
You can't really spoil that scene because
if you've
read the comics.
If you
she was
follow
wearing the
comics.
exact outfit.
Yeah, which that's actually one of these mini Easter eggs that are in.
Oh, did I take one away from you? I apologize.
Oh no, that's fine.
Go ahead, Joystick. Tell us our Easter eggs.
Well, there's a couple that I want to bring up. Harry.
Harry Osborn, that's Norman's son.
Yeah, he and it was Norman's assistant beforehand had an assistant named Felicia.
Oh, yes, and if you don't know, that's Felicia. If it's the same one, Felicia Hardy, which is
I think they which is Black Cat.
Yes.
I think they left it at Felicia just in case.
That's right.
Just like, will we put her in the next movie? Will we even have the same actress?
If he would have
by
said
the-
Miss Hardy, I think I would have had a little mini moo moo in the theater.
Oh, I would have lost it. Just throwing that out at me, I've been like, oh my god. Because then, that would be like, oh, I was right, that whole thing. But, whenever I heard Felicia, I was like, instantaneously, maybe that's Felicia Hardy.
Oh no, I jumped to it too. Like
I could
Black
see
Cat.
them, going away from it just because they have to. But, obviously we got a tease and everybody knew this was going to happen. But there was a tease at Sinister Six.
yes,
We got
the end credits. They showed little flashes of pieces of costumes, if
Yeah.
you will.
their
Or
little
technology.
tech. We had Doc Ock in there.
Absolutely.
We had Green Goblin in there.
Absolutely.
We have Rhino in there, which we actually see at the end of the film.
Correct. And I said that to you when we were at Free Comic Book Day. I said the most amazing thing of all is that all through the trailers that they were showing leading up to this movie, they were showing the ending the whole time.
Yeah, with Rhino.
With the Rhino
Yeah.
and the
I'm glad that they showed Rhino off the way that they did, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad they didn't make him.
he was a minor character.
Yeah.
Honestly, he was backdrop.
Yeah, and I appreciated that they didn't overbear that movie with villains.
And he was funny. He was comic relief.
Oh, he was.
And he's supposed to
definitely-
be in the book. He's a guy trapped inside of an actual rhinoceros looking suit.
Yeah.
So in the Ultimate Universe, he is a mech suit like they did in the movie, which I thought was amazing. I'm just the only hard thing I had to believe with that, and I'm fine with swallowing this down, is that it's just hard to imagine. What's the actor's name? I'm not good with names. That played the Rhino.
I cannot remember right now, and it's killing me.
Anyway, just believing him to be Russian is kind of weird. Ramada.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
But then we also had a mysterious mask with some
smoke coming
around
off of it.
People are wondering if that's gonna be Mysterio or Chameleon.
It's up in the air.
I don't know. I would rather them go Mysterio.
You forgot to mention Vulture.
Yeah, they also had Vulture in there.
They had the wings.
And
then
then-
the other mysterious thing was the little symbol arrowhead type looking thing, which people are guessing to be either Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah. That's
the leading one.
Well, and Mark Webb has come out saying that he would like to include Kraven the Hunter in the next.
He's been in all the Sinister Sixes.
Yeah, so I would like for him to actually make his way in there, see how they can do that and pull him off.
Yeah, because he's an over-the-top funny character too. I mean, he's Russian as well, and he's a big-time hunter, and he decides to hunt Spider-Man. He's like, I've hunted everything else. I've got. I can't do an accent. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm not even gonna try. He's like, I've killed every single big game there is, and it's like, I want to hunt Spider-Man, and it's like, who would think that?
Yeah.
Like, who just decides, hey, I've killed rhinoceroses and lions and tigers and bears, oh my, but I've never killed a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I want to try that.
But Paul Giamatti was...
Paul Giamatti, thank you.
I cannot think of that either. But yeah, so, I mean, we're looking at what the guesses are, and the obvious is Green Goblin, the Rhino, the Doc Ock,
Vulture.
The Vulture, Kraven the Hunter, and then either Mysterio or Chameleon. And
correct.
I'm assuming it's Chameleon. I don't think that they're going to do Mysterio.
Because Mysterio was a giant fishbowl. But with the smoke...
I would love it to be Mysterio.
Because Chameleon didn't have smoke on his face. His face just changed.
I would love for it to be Mysterio.
It would be amazing if it was Mysterio.
Yeah, so...
I never thought about that. That's 3 Russian characters. Kraven's a Russian, I think. I'll have to double-check that. Then you have Alex, the Rhino, definitely Russian, and then the Chameleon. I think he was Dmitry. I think his first name was Dmitry. So I think he's also Russian. I have to double check my facts on that.
But then whenever there's a little zoom in on the screen whenever Harry's looking through his
his list of names.
Yeah, and then
his files.
we got Venom storage, which I'm guessing is more of it's the Spider Venom storage.
I'm guessing so.
I don't know if they're gonna go Venom that route. Then you had Dr. Morbius on there. They had
the living vampire, which in the comic books he was a doctor working for Oscorp who was working on some kind of a blood thing and turned him into the living vampire.
Yeah, so I don't know if they'll go that route.
Dr. Michael Morbius.
Yeah, or if it's just something that they threw in there, just to have
just
it
fun,
there.
Good Easter egg stuff.
BJ Novak. He played
I have no idea.
He was a writer and one of the main characters on the Office television series. That's how I know him from, or that's what I know him from, I should say. He actually played a bigger role in this movie than people realize. Alistair Smythe. I can't.
The Spider Slayers.
Yeah.
So that was Electro's boss, right, in the movie.
Yeah, and so they kind of teased at, maybe that'll pop up in the next movie or something.
Spider Slayers.
Or maybe it's just they decided to have that name drop in there. Who really knows?
I don't think they'll go with the Spider Slayers. It was an okay storyline.
I could see it being a backstory in the
kind of like the Rhino.
Kind of like the Rhino. Maybe a little more in the forefront than Rhino was in this film, but just kind of a little thing. I don't think it'll be anything over the top. And then they had an after the credits scene that they cut. So I doubt that this really has much to do with... I'm not sure if it'll actually be canon or anything like that. But it was what is presumed as Norman Osborn's head on ice, basically.
Oh, that was supposed to... That's the very end thing that they were going to throw in at the very end of the credits.
Yeah.
So just so we know, another Easter egg, I don't even know if you call it an Easter egg, but... X-Men Days of Future Past had an extra scene in the middle of the credits.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that an Easter egg because
not really an Easter egg.
The way that's actually working, and I kind of got informed on that. I knew that Mark Webb technically owned Fox some movies.
So they let him go to do this one, and as long as he promised to put in a scene for free.
Basically.
So it's free advertising for
free
X-Men.
advertisement for X-Men from Sony as long as they... or so that Mark Webb can do this amazing Spider-Man franchise. Great trade-off, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Because Mark Webb is doing an awesome job. Some people have their opinions. They think the Sam Raimi films are better or whatever, but I personally, from the get-go, Amazing Spider-Man all the way. That's my new Spider-Man franchise.
Chameleon was a Soviet citizen named Dmitry, and I'm not even going to try this, Samirdakov.
All right, so we're looking
Anyway.
at about
Half-brother of Kraven the Hunter. So that would be a tie-in.
We're looking about 10 more minutes on this
Okay.
episode. So
go ahead and talk about your...
Well, I wanted to what all in all, what'd you think of? Because I mean, like the Call of Duty game, I got a couple little quick notes on it, but nothing too in depth. But on all in all, what'd you think of Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I give it 2 thumbs up. I was very happy with it.
I thought that the pacing was done really well.
Well, you remember my first complaint was they announced all these villains, and I was like, oh my God, it's going to be Spider-Man 3 all over again.
Yeah.
It was going to be way too much. But the way they did it, with the Rhino being like a cameo, if you will, even though, I mean... He was just more there for comic relief than anything.
Sure.
The buildup of Harry Osborn, I thought that was handled really well. And then Electro, once again, everything was paced, like you said, perfectly, and everything fit together. Mark Webb did an excellent job. I was not disappointed in anything this time around. This movie was better than the last one. As always, you're always supposed to improve.
Yeah.
You didn't have any long backstories.
No.
In any way, shape, or form, which, me, I don't need to know how Spider-Man came to be. I know that already. The only thing that I would even poo-poo on just a little bit is the whole story about his dad. Like, I didn't feel that got enough attention, even though it was like an underlying current because it started off the movie, the whole, running from Oscorp. But it does show how it's his family and Oscorp's and the Osborns are tied together.
Osborns.
The Osborns.
Yeah.
They're the Osborns.
I know, but it's so funny to hear.
I know. Out loud.
I know. I just never.
And I'm not even poo-pooing that. I just thought there could have been I thought it could have been a little more meatier. It didn't seem. I mean, it was just all of a sudden he was so sad about his Gwen, spoiler alert, Gwen Stacy dying, that he's like, I'm gonna snap out of this and find out what's going on with my dad. Like, I want to find out what's up with this. Like, that sudden shift. That was the only thing, but that's minor. Like,
yeah,
I feel like a d-bag by even saying that because it was so good. You know what I mean?
I thought it was a great movie. It's
like in Clerks. I'm not even supposed to be here today. You just sound like a d-bag.
Yeah. Now, with Harry being Green Goblin, did that bother you at all?
No. I mean,
he's been Green Goblin before.
Absolutely.
I thought having the younger Green Goblin was nice. I personally was a fan of it. I thought. I
think it was a good direction to go because Willem Dafoe did an excellent Green Goblin, even though that mask was horrid in the Tobey Maguire. Is it Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, the first films.
The first films.
The Sam Raimi films.
The Sam Raimi films. There you go. The Sam Raimi films. Even though Willem Dafoe did an excellent Green Goblin, I think that the take on this one was just as good.
I think it was
more appropriate, and
it was different enough. And I'm glad they didn't go the same exact route as the first trilogy. Not only that, a lot of the complaints I got from the first Amazing Spider-Man movie was just like, I don't need his origin story again. I don't need this again. I don't need that again. And since they went somewhere different with Green Goblin, it's like, hey, you steered away from how it was in that
sad to hear,
cinematic universe, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely. You know what's sad to hear though is the amount of money that it made. In all, it's a blockbuster, right?
Yeah.
But some of the websites that I've been reading are saying that it made only 97 its first weekend, so it's not doing as hot as they thought it would.
Sure.
And they think it's only going to be number one they think next weekend something else will push out its spot, which I think is very odd. But they're blaming it on the consumer, the viewer, the fans getting tired of reboots. They're blaming it on that, and I'm just like, why? This one wasn't a reboot. I feel this is a continuation of that story. I feel it's a totally different story than the first 3 movies.
I honestly, this is the franchise I'm happy they rebooted.
Absolutely.
Because I just didn't like the direction of the last one. I like that
just
they
makes
threw Gwen Stacy in there. I thought they did this is much more true to the comic.
Yeah, it was.
And I like this franchise more. I think Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2 are better films and there's people out there that completely agree or disagree with me. So that's fine. But to me I enjoy this franchise more. But, go see the movie. Make a decision for yourself. Let us know what you think. You can contact us on our Facebook or our Twitter, facebook.com/outrightgeeks or
at Outright Geeks, if I can talk.
On Twitter. Check us out on the website. Hit us up anywhere, any way you can, and let us know what you think about the film. But anyways, I have one little piece of video game news I got to get in here real quick. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. They just put out a teaser trailer for it. Well, not necessarily a teaser trailer. It's the first trailer that actually has some gameplay in there and everything. And it is the first Call of Duty game I've been excited for since Modern Warfare.
Really?
They're kind of stepping the boundaries into the future a little bit with some of the tech. I think that's a really good way to go for that franchise. And the story of the campaign actually seems to be drawing me in. I mean, they got Kevin Spacey to be in this movie, or in this game. So
which is awesome.
So it's going to have that movie feel almost, because it's like I got this big name actor in here, and I am just super...
Breaking news. Mighty Morphing Power Rangers, the original, going to be made into a movie. Lionsgate announces plans for a new live-action Power... I can't even say it.
I wonder if they're going to get, the original cast and everything.
They've got, in this article, they've got, a little, what are the cast right now? What are they doing? And I see, at Comic-Con, you seen him too, didn't you? The Green Ranger.
Jason David Frank.
Yeah, he was there, which he's now a professional MMA
super
person
nice dude.
now. Yeah. Absolutely amazing when I met him. But yeah... I want to talk to him and be like, so what do you think of them doing a movie? I bet you he's going to be in it, because he's been almost in
Power Ranger.
He is the Power Ranger. I think he's a doctor in the Power Ranger series. I think he's a doctor now.
I don't know.
Why do I know that?
I wish they would make a movie just called The Power Ranger, and it was just him.
They
didn't even have anybody else, just him, just being awesome. I think that's the way to go.
I saw that. I had to show it to you because I know how much you were talking about the Power Rangers at Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, I got that comic.
You did.
Yeah, and I'm ready to check it out. But Advanced Warfare, check out the teaser trailer, whatever you want to call it, the gameplay trailer.
Yeah, it was very cinematic.
Yeah, and it's the first Call of Duty campaign that I'm just like, wow, I really want to play this campaign because it looks like it's going to, pull me in and grab me. And that's something that the Call of Duty franchise has been kind of lacking on in the past. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Now, B-Mad, you had an event.
Oh, I do. That
we need to bring up before we get out of here.
Yes. Cover for me for just a second. I accidentally got out of here.
Go watch Amazing Spider-Man 2. Check out the trailer for Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. If you did not make it to Free Comic Book Day, I feel for you. It was a great experience, but try to make it out to Fantasy Books in Belleville, Fantasy Books and Games in Fairview Heights, and Heroic Adventures in Edwardsville, Illinois. They got tons of comics that you should be reading. Tons of toys. I did not realize how many cool toys they had in those stores.
Oh, I know. I have to restrain myself anytime I go into their stores. Speaking of their stores, so Fantasy Books has a raffle going on, if you will. It's baseball season, and Fantasy Books Inc. is covering all the bases. They're going to be partnering with Busch Stadium to bring you Superhero Night on Tuesday, June 3rd. So if you come by and you shop at Fantasy Books at any of the 3 locations, I forget the amount you have to spend. Here it is. Starting on May 5th, we will be giving out raffle tickets for for every $20 you spend, and for every Cardinals magazine you purchase. And then on the 31st at 6 o'clock, they're going to draw one lucky winner's ticket to throw the first pitch of the game. So if you ever have had the urge or the calling to throw out a first pitch, this is the way to do it. So it's the Tuesday, June 3rd game is going to be Superhero Night, just if you want to go to that and dress up like a superhero.
Sure.
And if you want a chance to win a first pitch, spend $20 at any of the Fantasy Books locations. Get that raffle ticket in there, and you could win.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
And then we have a code word for
that's right,
one of the free comics that we're going to be giving away, which is Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, sad. Everybody, moment of silence for Gwen Stacy, who's dead. Okay, the moment's over.
That was sad in that movie, too. They
I
did it real well.
I know, I teared up a little. Even though I knew it was coming, no tears dropped. I just got a little misty.
I just kind of sat there in awe of it happening, because I was just kind of they're gonna send her off to Europe during the movie. They're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, and then it happened. I was just like, Dang.
The whole movie
They
theater
got there.
jumped when her body hit the
Really?
ground. She went, and
See, I think everybody that was there when I saw it was just like, we know.
True.
Because I mean,
I knew
like-
it was coming, but
Yeah.
in the comic book, he's trying to save her, and he shoots the web line, and he jerks her so hard that her neck snaps.
Oh,
so it's a little different because
I like the way they did it.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm wondering to see how that resentment towards Harry will play out and everything like that. Because I do believe the original, it was like Norman that did it as
Correct.
well. So,
Which in turn got him killed.
yeah. So I would like to see how that.
One of the many times the Green Goblin has died
Yeah.
in the comics.
Very true. But we are the Outright Geeks.
We are the Outright Geeks. I am BMAD, and
I am Joystick.
we will talk to you next time.
Next week.
Free comics.
Dude, I'm stressing out. It's New Comic Book Wednesday, and I'm nowhere near my favorite comic book store.
Where are you?
I'm in Fairview Heights.
Then go to Fantasy Books and Games. It's right there in Fairview Heights next to the Dandy Inn at 1977 West Highway 50. They have a fantastic collection of comics, books, toys, and games. Grab your stash and come back for the show.
Thanks, Tony B. I'm headed over there right now to Fantasy Books and Games at 1977 West Highway 50.
Or call them at 618-624-0920.
Do you want to look, feel, and perform better every single day? Whether you're at home, in the gym, or on the playing field, 180nutrition.org is your source for the best performance nutrition. 180nutrition.org is for everyone. My name is Clint Forsythe.
And I'm Lindsay.
Together we own 180nutrition.org.
Jumpstart your new year with an Advocare 24-day challenge before the new year starts.
180nutrition.org, your local and trusted Advocare independent distributors. 180nutrition.org. Use what the pros use. Get your Advocare 24-day challenge and visit 180nutrition.org. Right now!